because the person we picked up, or one of the group we picked up, knew exactly where we were needing to go, and he or she needed to go. And so we drove. One day we got lost almost, and we were heading way out there, and we almost ended up in Nicaragua instead of Honduras. But we eventually got to this little town where hardly anyone ever went, except a few years ago. Another country started trying to help Honduras and build a little resort there. So we spent the day with children doing Bible school and growing. And that was my most meaningful mission trip, because we were living in probably the poorest place in the whole Western Hemisphere, the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, in a very scary place, because that was a place where drugs would come from South America. And what we learned was to love the people, and what we learned from them was the love of Jesus is not dependent on your life being great. Your life is great because of the love of Jesus. And so I loved that trip. And the one really fun thing I got to do is one afternoon I got to help Dr. Tom, the dentist. And so he had me doing stuff I'd never done, of sterilizing instruments and handing him what he needed and doing all that stuff. And I decided it was a good thing I was a pastor and not a dentist. Because if you were my patient, you would have very sore teeth, okay? So that was the most powerful, and it really was a time of spiritual renewal for me. Because, on mission trips, you often go and say, "No, I'm going to go help these people know about God. I'm going to make them feel better," right? They gave me a lot more than I could do. That's one of the things God does, right? God always surprises us and sends us people to help us at the same time we help them. So that was my neat experience. The older you get to go on more and more adventures of mission trips. You may get to go to a foreign country someday. You may get to go to the Ozark Mission Project. Lots of places you can go. But when you do, go because you're taking Jesus' love, and the way God works is that as you take Jesus' love, you experience it back here. And it's just a really neat thing. So that's